is making sure you have a sponsorship at the outset, but then being able to translate the work you're doing into how it makes people's lives better. If you're looking at automation, say you're looking at going through an order to cash, from someone placing an order with your company to it being shipped on a truck to the site, to then invoicing and receiving payment. You might be looking at the back end accounts receivable, and you might be wanting to bring some of the costs down, maybe do it a bit more quickly, a bit more automated. But when you're talking to your accounts receivable clerks, what their challenges are going to be aren't the same as the head of finance. They might just absolutely hate the OCR tool, the scanning tool that they've got, and it perpetually picks up the wrong information. That means they're sat there manually keying in a ton of data, and it day to day eats up the whole day. So when you're shaping these transformation initiatives, you solve those little problems that can contribute to the bigger picture, but you make sure you bring the people on the journey as well, because the accounts receivable clerk at the end of the day is the one whose process is going to be changing.
Yeah, that's a really, okay, so right, we were talking about process, and I like these vocabulary words are important, and I often ask folks, what do you mean by that word? And so right now we just touched on something really important where you are saying day to day processes, as well as bringing those things to light. You said, I think the phrase bringing the people along with you. And so does the department head, does the CEO, does the COO, for example, get to see that individual on the floor is actually having trouble with their equipment? If that scanning equipment isn't giving them the right information when they need it, and they have to stop and enter something in manually, I'm getting mad thinking about being in that position. I mean, I'm mad, very frustrated. And so that's if I had to do that all day long or several times a day, I wouldn't even know where to start. That would be my first issue. I would say to management, I can't even talk about anything else you're interested in until we fix this thing I have to do one time 1,000 times a day.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. There is this massive disconnect sometimes. The view from kind of 10,000 feet from a boardroom is so different to what it is on the ground. And for some companies, they're too big to be able to translate that out efficiently. If you're looking at someone like Maersk or someone like Philips, we're talking multi-billion pound, multi-billion dollar enterprises with tens of thousands of employees. It's not feasible for the CFO to understand exactly what's going on the ground. So there are tools there to help translate it, but having a good internal excellence program, what that does is it takes those senior sponsors' objectives, and then it understands the underlying business through data, through process, through interviews, whatever that may be, and then it shapes up a change program. But it keeps feeding that back to those senior stakeholders, giving them a little bit of visibility into what is actually going on, and helping to use that to inform a change program. So if it's not based off some obscure idea of what best practice looks like,